Welcome back to another episode of The Culture. This episode, we're going to kind of just touch on all of the dances leading up from slavery up to the 1960s, 70s. You had the ring shout, which was a dance that the ancestors did in the early 1800s. You know, it was like a spiritual circle dance with clapping and call and response singing rooted in African traditions. Next, you have the cakewalk, also from the mid-1800s. Originally, this dance was done to mock European ballroom dance styles and later would become a contest dance in minstrel shows. The Juba dance was another dance from the mid-1800s. This involved dancing with stomping, slapping, and clapping, which would later go on to influence tap dance. The next dance that the ancestors did in the 1800s was the buck dance. This was a rhythmic solo dance with strong footwork, a precursor to tap dancing. What? Another dance from the 1800s was the patent juba. This was a hand and body percussion dance that influenced later jazz and blues dance movements. Now we coming into the late 1800s, early 1900s, vaudeville type era, you know. Next up, you have the Texas Tommy, which was in the early 1900s. This was a precursor to the Lindy Hop, which featured swing outs and, partner spins, two-person dances, Now this one next, the Charleston. I've heard Michael Jackson mention this one as well as the Lindy Hop. So if you know anything about dance and if you know anything about black culture, Michael Jackson was the dance god. Period. Fuck what you heard. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say this shit with my whole goddamn chest. There was no motherfucker on the planet touching Mike with that dancing. And where he get all this fly shit from, he got it from James Brown. But we gonna get there. We slowly working our way there, step by step. But I mentioned Mike because in one of the last interviews he did before he passed, he mentioned these dances specifically. So the Charleston, this was a dance from like the early 1900s up to the 1920s. This was a fast-paced dance with swinging leg movements, popularized during the jazz era. The next dance, the snake hips. This was a smooth, undulating hip movement dance popular in jazz clubs. The Lindy Hop was a groundbreaking swing dance which blended jazz, the Charleston, and breakaway styles leading to modern swing dancing. So the Lindy Hop is kind of probably like the precursor to, probably what we would say like the more modern dance styles that would, compared to now. This was the beginning of that fly shit. Really, like when I listened to some of the old heads mention these dances from back then. Of course, you had tap dance also from the 1920s to the 1930s. This was a fusion of the Juba, buck dance, and Irish step dancing, which, evolved into its own major, art form or whatever, or dance form. So we go from the boogie woogie of the 1930s coming into the 40s to the bebop. So the bebop is a fast, complex jazz dance style mirroring the bebop music movement. And the names is already there. You know what I'm saying? The names tell you what the vibe was. On the East Coast, so apparently there was a couple of different versions, but right here it's highlighting in 1963, the Boogaloo, East Coast version. Loose rolling movements that would influence funk dance styles. 1965, James Brown dance style. James Brown energetic footwork, splits, and spins become a major influence on early breaking. Let's stop right there. 1965, nigga. Don't get it fucked up. And any motherfucker that come in the comments, I got some quotes for your ass when niggas say, oh, show sources. Nigga, I got shit from your motherfucking favorite nigga who you dick riding that will tell you James Brown is the god of this shit. So just fucking sit your ass down and keep listening, nigga. The James Brown dance inspired by his stage dance movements. So that's 1965. James Brown was that nigga, period. Everybody was in awe when they seen this motherfucker on stage. That's why he was the hardest working man in show business. Let's never be mistaken on that fact. All right, so I think I pretty much, it's so much, like our people create so many different things. That's just who we are as a culture, as far as the FBAs, the Black Americans, however you want to refer to us, the motherfuckers that you love to hate. We create so many things, it'd be hard for us to even keep track, which is why I'm glad other people, such as like myself and some of these other YouTube channels, have started to really get into their bag to document. You know what I mean? Just the dancing aspect alone is blowing my mind. You know what I mean? I was like, look, by the time I got to the 1950s, I was like, I'm done. We create so much stuff. But with all that said, just to put the naysayers to rest and tuck them in, we're gonna throw a couple of little clips out here, um, which will finally just kind of wrap up the whole break dancing b-boy conversation. You know, we created all of this shit. Now, over time, with different aspects handed off, and other people co-opted. Yes, just to say co-opted and took over, culturally appropriated. These are proper terms to use. If one person creates a thing and another person takes it over and then tries to act like they are the creators, that is appropriation. That's co-opting a move. You feel me? So I gotta call it what it is. The fact that there's so many people on social media who are misinformed, who are passionately misinformed. We created this. Shut the fuck up. Let me drop this two clips and keep it moving. On
Need to learn that.
What we added was the Latino flavor. And what I think all B-boys in the Hispanic community that fell in love with the dance, that's what we brought into the table. Zulu King Foundation, Boricua flavor.
Let's go on ahead and hear from the pioneers.
Blacks were the first B-boys and the first group that would solidify that essence and B-boy motion was Zulu Kings. First group to ever exist. Period. And it was simple.
They were the first established B-boy crew ever. Because before that, you didn't have B-boy crews. You had a lot of street gangs. Maybe this gang might have one dance or two dances, or maybe a lot of these guys in this gang could dance, but there was never really a B-boy crew. Zulu Kings have given birth to some of the best B-boys on the planet. These are people who created moves, head spins, chair freezes, the original footwork shuffle. In Zulu Kings, we have a saying. We battle.
Looked up to
Yes. In fact, Africa Bambaataa, the Zulu nations, they fascinated me because be mindful, they was around before TVB. And when I used to go to the Zulu jams, it was just Zulu Nation and the big organizations of people doing their thing. Meaning they used to dance the freak, in the 73. This is a time when the DJing still was being added to. The cuts, the mixes, the elbow, everything came into play when Africa Bambaataa and DJ Kool Herc gave birth to this culture. And we became the supporters of the foundation when we used to go to the jams and start rocking. And yes, one of the primary reasons why I came out with TBB was because of Africa Bambaataa. It fascinated me to see so many people, and it fascinated me to hear that they had a founding father named Africa Bambaataa. Came out and turned the black space into the Zulu Nation. He was tired of the bullshit. Excuse my word, he was tired of the negative. So he turned the Zulu Nation for a cause, for the community, for the people. And to some degree, I tried that, but I wasn't as organized as this brother was because he was just much older than us with much more experience. We was just young kids. We used to smoke dust, dance, and just run around like a pack of hyenas. And I can't sugarcoat anything. I got to give it to the people raw to understand that this culture started out with a bad fuse that have turned it into an extraordinary, beautiful energy today.
So there you have it, nigga. So let's just chalk this up as a learning experience. You're gonna take this L, nigga, but we gonna be nice, since y'all, in 2025, everybody's a winner, everybody get a trophy. We're gonna put a EARN on the end of your L so you can learn. It ain't gonna be a loss, it's gonna be a learning experience. You get what I'm saying? So once again, the Puerto Rican community were there, and they were out of the mouths of their OGs. And we can go to another one. I'll throw another one just to add on to this shit. You feel me? I'll keep going, nigga. So when niggas is trying to come at Lord Jamar disrespectfully because he's saying real shit, you niggas did not create this shit. Your own OGs is telling you, you did not create this shit. They seen and they were watched in awe, just like how everybody watched in awe of James Brown. The Puerto Ricans was like, yo, the shit that these brothers is doing here, this shit is amazing. We want to be part of it. Okay, cool. Come through. The come through already implies by default, we already got some shit going on, and you can join. You can join. You can come and, you know what I'm saying? But don't ever act like you was the nigga who brought out the hammer and the nails and you built this shit from scratch. No. I gotta chastise you motherfuckers. When a child is out of place and they saying some shit that's incorrect, you've got to correct them.